Am I live already? Oh, I am live. Okay, great. Can you hear me? Oh, you can? Okay. Very first live, surprise. um, so. Oh, Jilly, you couldn't find me? YouTube is doing something stupid lately. Like, lives don't show up. We were just talking about it earlier. Like, lives don't show up in the thing. I keep getting like notifications for videos that I know have been up for days that are just like, look, a new video, and it's not new at all. Yes, Jen, you can just sit back in your pajamas and do whatever you feel like doing. Um, so I am fully unprepared for this. I guess if you don't know me, now you do. I'm not on time to anything. So I don't have anything prepared. Um, well, I mean, so I don't know if it would have shown up because I didn't like schedule it ahead of time or anything. I just basically clicked go live. I mean, I think I intended to like try and set it up so that it would just go live at 2:30, but then I accidentally, I think, hit the live button. Oh, Nancy's here, who just sent me that amazing package that I still have. Well, I've got the box right here, but nothing's in it. Yes, you can. Jen, ask away. Ooh, in fact, Mary is in the chat too, and she is very familiar with the blue tuck box. She can probably give you more information than I can. I mean, at least about like the timeline of it being published. But I do know that I don't see them as often. Ooh, Dustin did get. Okay, so Dustin did get a notification. That's cool. What have I been cooking and sewing? I have not been cooking much. I'm trying to think of what I even cooked this week. I grilled some fish. Oh, I need mods. Okay. Yeah, let me do that. And I made a quilt for my niece for Easter. Sorry, I'm trying to add mods. Thanks for being patient. Can other moderators add moderators? Is that a thing? Or do I have to add them? Yeah, Jen, hang on one second. I'm just going to grab mine and I'll show you the exact box. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Hopefully I didn't miss too much. Yeah, so this is the kind that Simon and I have. See, it just lifts off the top. And then it... Yeah. But I think yours, unless it's on the top of the box, I think yours should say in association with Waddington Playing Card Company still, like this. I don't know if you can even see that. But anyway, I think yours should say that on it somewhere. Yes, Mary, that's exactly what we all have. Well, me and Simon anyway, I think. Um I feel like this is a hot mess. Like me trying to read this. I don't know how y'all do this on a regular basis, like keep up with it. It goes so fast. Um yeah, yours is definitely a blushing fool, Jen. I mean, if you have the red lines. It is hard. I laugh all the time because I whenever I was showing mine, I was like trying to get the camera to pick it up. I mean, this one you can see very well, but my yellow box you can't really tell as well. And it was funny because I was just like, I mean, y'all are just gonna have to trust me because it is blushing. Like I don't. uh, yeah, it is fun just to hang out. Yeah, and the camera, I don't know what it is about the camera. It just doesn't do it justice. I will say on my when I film on my phone, I feel like the front facing camera is not super fantastic, but whenever I'm filming and I'm looking at the screen and using the back camera, it's way better. And then you can kind of see a little better. Oh, and here is Mary with all of the tricks of the trade of how to get it to show. What did Elle say? Oh, okay. This is these allergies are making it so hard to like film videos because I feel like I look like a crackhead, like watery eyes. I just look upset constantly. Um, I'm trying to think if there's any decks that I could show y'all that because like when I agreed to go live, I was thinking about like what I would do, and I thought it would be fun maybe to like show some decks that are cool that I have that I probably won't make a full video about because like they either oh, I see. But I probably won't make a video of the, whatever decks I showed because there are lots of flip throughs already. When I started making the videos, it was like it was interesting to me, like the history and stuff, but also I thought it was cool to do flip throughs of decks that like I see on eBay a lot that I couldn't find any flip throughs of, and so you couldn't see all the cards, and so I thought it'd be fun. So I'm trying to think of what decks. I know lots of people have been talking about the Greenwood tarot lately, and I just got that. So I could show that deck. I have a few like indie decks that I don't see a lot of people showing that are pretty cool. Um, are there any? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll get. Let me grab the Greenwood. Okay, I'm back. Okay, so the Greenwood Tarot is really cool. I didn't think I would ever be able to find one reasonably priced, and then I got beyond lucky. So it comes in a box like this, like it slides out. The book is cool. It's like it's really thick. And then it has this little like fold out. That is like, I can't tell exactly what it is. It looks like the Wheel of the Year, I believe, but it puts all the majors on it, like exactly where they would be, which is pretty cool. And then, okay, so the thing about this is that apparently, Mary, do you remember the deck? I always confuse it. It's not the Robin Wood. What is the deck that came after this? And I'm only asking Mary because I know I just had a conversation with her about it. But anyway, Cheska Potter is the artist, and originally she did a deck with God, I can't think of his name now. Yeah, the Wildwood. Yeah, that's it. I can't remember his name, but anyway, it's Mark Ryan and the guy who did her first deck with her did the Wildwood. But so apparently I did lots of hunting, and I should have just asked Simon from the beginning because he knew, but they're doing a reprint of it apparently, but they've been promising a reprint. Yeah, Will Worthington. They've been promising a reprint of it for, I mean, I have been on a waiting list, like an email list for it for probably like a year, and it's Mark Ryan who's always the one talking about it. But then I read somewhere that Cheska Potter was like not into the reprint, didn't want it to be printed and stuff like that. And so I felt bad. Apparently, but like I couldn't figure out what happened to Cheska Potter. She just like disappeared. Like I could never find a formal statement that was like, this is what is going on, this is why I don't want to do it or anything like that. But I did know that she released all of the images of the cards so that you could have your own deck printed. I know lots of people in like the Hermit's Cave and stuff have done that, had them printed. I know Simon has. I don't know if he's gotten. Have you gotten yours yet? But anyway, she is Christian now, or not interested in tarot anymore, and didn't want to profit from the deck anymore, and that's why she released the images. I think that's why the images that she released didn't have the card images that she released don't have the titles on them, and I think that's why, is so she can feel like she's just releasing the art, not the actual not the actual tarot deck as a deck. But the interesting thing that I found, though, when I was looking at the reprint, like the print your own images that she released, the PDF, There was also a link to Cheska Potter's blog where she had like it was basically just, I guess you could have it printed into a book, but it was like the guidebook, but she wrote it instead of Mark Ryan. And so I looked at I like compared her words to what Mark Ryan wrote, and they're surprisingly really different. It almost seems like she did the art and had a whole concept for it, but then didn't really communicate with him very much, or he didn't communicate with her, or I don't know. I don't know the situation, but the text is very different in the two. And yeah, another cool thing about the deck that I think would make it hard if you did if you did the print your own without the titles on it is that the majors are not in the right order necessarily, and they're also not called. They're not the same titles necessarily. But anyway, these are the backs. It's also the image from the front of the box. And if you see this deck, if you put this deck next to the Wildwood, you can see the similarity. They're not yeah. The like you can see that they clearly were meant to be similar, or like the Wildwood was meant to mimic this. They're not exactly the same, obviously, not like redrawn or anything, but they're pretty cool. So that's the full. I'm trying to get the lighting to be. This is not normally where I film. This is like a little. We've turned our guest room into an office because my husband is working from home now. But they're really cool. They're really like shamanistic looking, and like this video is really not doing it very much justice. It almost looks like it must have been colored pencil, I'm guessing. That's what it looks like anyway. Almost like God, I'm trying to think of the deck that I'm talking about. That I'm thinking of. Oh well. And I did see, where did I see that at? There was another, okay, so there was, I don't remember where I saw it, but apparently this is the very first tarot deck ever to have animals as the court cards. I mean, obviously, the Wild Unknown is like pretty much completely animals, but this apparently was the first one that had animal court cards. So that's fun. That's a fun hermit. I would tell you which ones were in, like which cards were different orders, but honestly, I haven't really worked with it much, so I don't know. I know the sun is normally 19, but this is like card 20, I think, that I've gone through. Yeah, because this is the world tree, I think, is the world. It does have keywords. So I guess if you were printing your own, that's something you could change. Yeah, Jen, the system does really throw me off. And I guess I wanted it for a really long time, but I didn't know. I guess I hadn't seen enough about it to know that the system was this different because I don't know that I would ever really read for myself with it like that. I mean, this is kind of graphic. Where's Becca? This is like turning into Becca's chat. Um, but it's like a very different system. I will say though, I think if you read her descriptions and how she talks about the book, about like the guidebook and the deck and the cards and how they're meant to be, I think it's really cool. And I think you could learn to use it. Well, it's not like a different system, Simon. I guess that's not the right way to say it. It's just like I wouldn't say that it was really RWS, and I wouldn't really say it was like Tothy, Tothy. I don't really care for that system very much, so I don't care if I mispronounce it. But I don't know, like I don't think you could read with it like just straight RWS. The keywords are there. I kind of like the keywords in this case because I think it would help me a little since I'm not familiar with like how it all like how all of the cards flow and work well together. So I think it would be helpful to have them. But if you're the kind of person who is not interested in keywords at all, you could easily take them off. And also, some of them are like not really a keyword. Some of them are just like what's on the card. But the deck is really cool. The other thing that I noticed, I tried. Someone commented in the Hermit's Cave that they were interested in like having one printed for themselves on Make playing cards, and they were really having trouble uploading it and figuring it all out because the images are basically like PDF sheets. So in order to like actually separate them all out, you would have to you would almost have to like highlight that chunk of it and then copy it or like drag it out onto just like your home screen and like have it be its own file, and then you would have to kind of edit it down a little. So it seemed like a lot to deal with and it was overwhelming for people. So I tried to get on Photoshop and just like I thought I could just set it all up on Make playing cards and then oh, Mary, if there is one already on Make playing cards, that would be amazing, and it would have saved me a lot of time. But I tried to get on Photoshop and separate them out, and I thought I could just set it up on Make playing cards, and then people could just go and do it themselves. And then, I mean, I wasn't going to set it up so I made any money, obviously, but I thought I could just like have it there and then people could just buy it and do whatever. But the only problem that I found with Make playing cards, and maybe you could use like GameCrafter or another company that has different dimensions, the only card size that had the right dimensions to match this were like a playing card size. So they would be much smaller. In order for this to fit on like a standard tarot size card, you ended up with like a ton of white space on the top or the bottom, or both, depending on how you put it. And like it wouldn't be a big deal if it was on the bottom and then you put the title, but it still was going to be a ton. Like, and I like borders, and I'm saying it would be way too much. Like it would be pointless to have a deck. You would have to almost get it to be the right width and then center it as close to the bottom of the whole card as you could. And then whenever it came in, you still would have to cut the top and use a corner rounder, I think. And then it would work. But I don't know. It's tough, I think. Because when I first read the comment, I was like, but make playing cards is just like load the images and that's it. Like it would be not hard. And then when I tried to do it, I was like, oh, I guess it is kind of hard. Who is the devil that we're speaking of? Oh, Becca! You're here. I literally just said, now I'm going to have to go find the card for you, Becca, because I just said it was turning into a Becca chat because I had a very graphic. Oh, are they, Simon? What size card did you use? Or I guess maybe I saw the images on a different website. Like maybe I had a different link than you did. But anyway, once I get through this, I will find that card for Becca because it was funny. I mean, you'd think it would be so easy because I just had it. Oh, there it is. 5 of Wands. I mean, so graphic. This is like more graphic, I think, than the Celtic Tarot. At least they're kind of hidden. This is just like, there it is. Oh, Justin's here. Nice to see you. Oh yeah, I didn't do that thing that everybody always does where they list off the people that are here. So I'm not going to do that now because there's too many of you. But hello to everyone. Oh, Becca, you have a spanner now. Oh, this is the thing about the moderators. Don't be offended if you're not a moderator because it's hard to even click the person's name to add the moderator because everything's going so fast. And thank you, Jennifer Ball, for the thumbs up. All right, well, I mean, I guess, are there any, I don't know what to talk about. I guess if there are any decks that I have that that y'all would like to see, I could go grab them. Yeah, Becca, I hate it too. The quilt. I thought I had the quilt in here, actually. Guess I didn't. I'll have to go grab it. What decks am I waiting on? Let me see. It's sad that I have to check my email to see what I'm waiting on. I think I'm actually only waiting on one deck. Well, okay. I'm just waiting on one that I bought on eBay that is coming. But I am waiting on some from Kickstarter too. So I'm waiting on Oh, no. Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm waiting on 2. Thanks, Mary, for reminding me. I'm waiting on the J.K. Waite, which I will do an entire video on, but you should go and check out Melissa. Can I highlight this? Is there a way I can just like highlight a thing, a comment, and like share it? Anyway, I got the J.K. Waite. Definitely go check out Melissa Zupan. That's how I'm pronouncing it. I guess you could say Zuppin. Depends on where you are. Go check out her channel. She just did a video comparing the J.K. Waite to I think just the regular RWS. Oh, perfect. She put the link, so go check it. And Becca, I saw you asked up here my next hair color, and I don't know. I'm not sure. Maybe we can vote. I'll just do whatever you all say. So the thing about the J.K. Waite is that it is out of print. I know you don't expect anything different, but it's out of print. It's a Japanese deck. Mary covered literally every possible thing you could need to know about it. I'm really nervous about making that video because I don't know how to pronounce anything in Japanese. Okay, Justin, I'll go grab it in a second. But I think that it's probably going to be the J.K. Waite, honestly. Will probably be my favorite when it comes. I've wanted it for a very, 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 very long time. Probably from the very beginning, because a thing that I did that is a bad idea if you like the RWS is to go and look at RWS clones because it's a slippery slope. And there are tons of them, but the J.K. Waite is one that I've wanted forever. I don't think really I would call it a clone though. It's more of like a redrawing. The colors are amazing, but the thing about it is you don't see it a lot here. And Mary has an entire blog post about how to get one on Japanese auction sites using a proxy buyer, and you can get it reasonably, and she got hers very reasonably. And then there's one woman in Japan who seems to grab them from all of the Japanese auction sites and then resell them in the US and I guess wherever, because it's on Etsy, but in an Etsy shop for like a significant markup. And so she is like the resident, she's like the resident J.K. Waite sourcer. And she's looking for it for everyone. She was looking for one for Dustin, for me. I'm pretty sure for Simon. I'm sure anybody that's interested found her. Because it's intimidating, even using a proxy buyer to get anything on eBay. But I had a little extra money and there was one on eBay. I submitted an offer. He accepted it. I got it. It was more than I wanted to spend, but she hasn't seen any on any of the Japanese resale sites for months and months and months, and I haven't seen any on eBay really, or Etsy. The woman on Etsy hasn't had any either in a very long time. And so texted I texted her yesterday actually and was like, hey, so I'm thinking about buying it. What do you think? Is this smart? Is it not smart? Like people, I've been hearing people talking about it more too, whereas like before, until I knew she had it, I didn't know that I mean I didn't hear people talking about it much. But I have seen people talking about it more. And so I got nervous because I was like, if all these other people are looking for it too, and I'm not seeing them regularly anymore, like I need to jump on it. So I did get that. It's coming this week, I think. It should be here, I think Thursday, it's supposed to be. And the other deck that I'm getting is the Edith Waite Tarot. Um, and that's another one that has been on my radar for a long time. I kind of had forgotten about it for a while. So Edith Waite, I think that is her name, Edith Waite. She's the artist. And she did the recoloration of the standard RWS deck. But the coloration, let me see. I don't know if it'll show on my phone. Let me see. The coloration is really similar to what people call the Dirty Pam, like really atmospheric looking and really pretty. And so I thought that's perfect. I'll just get that since I cannot find the Edith Waite to save my life. I mean, the Dirty Pam to save my life. It's so. I can't find a single good picture. Maybe this one. Um. Oh, yeah. Okay, good. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well. Hmm. Maybe if I turn my brightness down. Okay, I'm sure it's blurry, but it's like this is not doing it very much justice. But it so she did the recoloration. It was put out in a lot of Spanish speaking countries. And then it was put out in the Canadian version of the dollar store. And I think it was like a $5 deck. Um, and it's cool, but yeah, okay, so it's cool, but the one in Canada was the only one that had English titles. I think it is, Mary. I think she does exist. I think Edith Waite is the artist. I mean, if it isn't, I mean, maybe that's just like a convenient little play on a name since she was recoloring that deck. But the Canadian deck is the only one I could find that was in English. Every other one comes in a box set in Spanish or in another language. And the Canadian version came out with the dollar store. It was unbranded. It didn't have any kind of like. It literally, I think, just said tarot cards and was on a gray little tuck box, and that was it. So there's no way to like search it out. It didn't even say Edith Waite on the box. So like even if someone did have it and saw that, they wouldn't, you know what I mean? Like it would be hard to find it. So I've been looking, I've been keeping my eyes out for one, and finally I decided I would just get the Spanish one because I mean I don't know that I'll ever find an English one. And I know, I mean, it's the RWS. I don't really need the titles. That's kind of how I felt about the Golden Rider. I have the French version of that. So yeah. So that's what I'm waiting on. That's the only two decks that I'm waiting on. I know Mary has talked about a couple of times scanning hers, and like, I don't know that. Let me not. I don't want to set her up to do this, but she has mentioned before scanning them to like let me print my own. But I feel like I mean, I might be able to do that. I'm sure I could find a scanner somewhere. Um, yes, okay. The Bone Whisperer, do not put your information in to that website. I fell into that trap when I was originally looking for it. That website is fully a scam. You can literally put any tarot deck at all, and it will. Is it allowed? Okay, so this is the thing. I think it is allowed, or I think you could get away with it, and here's why. The cards are not exactly. I mean, go and look at Mary's little flip through, comparing it to the Rider-Waite-Smith, because it is not exactly the same. Like, they didn't just take this and recolor it. They really did redraw them. It clearly is this deck. I mean, this is definitely the deck it's based on. Yeah, the J.K. Waite, Mary. But I think you could get away with it because the publisher who originally published the deck is out of business, and I don't think that there's a copyright on it. So I think you could. I think you could scan it, and I mean, I don't think that you could like scan it and then start selling it. But I think that if like Mary or me or someone that has the deck was willing to scan it and upload it to make playing cards, or like share it with a person, share the files with a person, I don't think it would be a big deal for you to print it yourself. Yes. Yeah, Simon. Like scan the JK Waite, because I'm the only reason that I even asked Mary about it to begin with was because I knew that she had a deck. Her blog has pictures of the cards, so I knew that they were in really great shape. And I thought, hey, if you don't mind, how would you feel about? I mean, because it's a lot to ask a person to do. I mean, you have to scan 78 individual cards. And I'm not saying that please don't, everybody on the planet or anyone watching this start harassing her about it, because I would feel terrible. But when mine comes in, if it's in good shape, I would love to. I mean, I'll scan it, no problem. Yeah, and then that way, the people that want it, like Simon, could get a copy, and yeah, I mean, that way you could have a copy. I mean, worst case, you would have this, the scanned copy, and then, yeah, see, Mary is locked out of school. Thanks, coronavirus. Um, and I don't know that I have a scanner, but at some point, when I get access to a scanner, I don't mind scanning it. And I guess worst case, you would have a copy of it, and then you could keep your eyes peeled, and maybe you could get another one too. Yeah. Oh yeah, Mary, I might as well just go ahead and put you all the way out there. You are good at making 10 designs for make playing cards. So maybe I'll scan the cards and edit them, and you can just design the 10, and then people can just order it. We can go into business. Um, yeah, it's a really cool deck. The colors are like, I think when I get it, I'll do a comparison of that deck and the Albano Waite, because I feel like people kind of group them together a lot because of the colors, because the Albano is so bright. But looking at Mary's flip through yesterday, I don't think that the colors are really similar at all. I mean, I think they're pretty different. They're very 70s. And I feel like the Albano is really like 70s. And so is the Hoi Polloi. But I think it's cool that even though they're all really 70s with the the colors and stuff, they all look really different. And like the Albano colors are really 70s to me, but they're really different. They're like a really different set of colors, like a whole different family of colors than the ones on the JK Wade. Yes, technically, I guess the answer is yes, Becca. You could scan them. You could scan any images you want, any cards that you want, and have a new one printed. But if they're copyrighted, I think you probably should be careful about doing it. But I guess it's not a big deal if, oh yeah, the university books in Albano would be great too. That's a great idea, Simon. Yeah, but you could, I guess if you wanted to just like, if you have a favorite, like I know you really like the Japaritse, Becca, and if you really liked that before they did the reprint, you could have scanned it in and then you could have a backup of that you could use, I guess, for like daily use and stuff. So, I mean, I guess the short answer is yes, you can scan anything in, but at some point you kind of have to be careful about it because if decks are copyrighted, then I guess you could get in trouble. But I think if you aren't like having them printed and selling them, or you don't set it up where or if you don't like set it up where you make money if people use the files, then I don't think that is a huge deal. So yeah. Oh, wait, Simon, you don't have a vintage Albano? Wait. Oh. Well, add that to the list, Simon, of decks. If you're hunting the JK Wade, you should hunt a vintage Albano Wade too, honestly, because the colors are really, really different. I don't know. Oh, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that everything. Okay, scrap what I just said. Don't listen to my legal advice. Do not have things printed. Thank you, Mindy, for saving me. I didn't realize that. I guess you can get in trouble for having it printed. But I guess I am, Dustin. I guess they would, the artist, I guess the person who owns the copyright technically would have to know that you did it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how viable it would be for US Games to be like, oh, Brant, I know you copied that Albano Wade and it's a problem. So I guess, I don't know. You could take your chance. Yeah, everyone goes to jail after my after my live. That's perfect. Yeah, that's what I thought too, Dustin. I don't know. I guess take your chances. The answer is yes, you could have anything printed on Make playing cards. I don't know if, I guess if the person, like if the person who like physically set the card up for you and printed it and boxed it up and stuff noticed, I guess they could like turn you in, but I don't know. I guess I don't know. I think it'll be hard for them to figure out that you did it, but oh, I didn't think about that, Mary. And I also didn't know that he was alive, which is cool. Yeah, Becca, I would get busted too, because I am Charlie Brown and I have the shittiest luck. And I'm sure I would, like, literally, I would spend hours putting it all up, setting all the images up, and the minute I had it printed, I'd get slapped with some kind of legal letter telling me, don't even think about it. Oh, does it? I didn't know that. Really? It's funny to me that they would send him a cease and assist, a cease and assist letter over roses and lilies back because technically, is that what does US Games have the copyright on? I thought the copyright was just on the name and like it was on something strange. Like it was not necessarily on the entire card or the images. Like they own the copyright to like the yellow box and the maybe the font of the name and the name. Yeah, Dustin, that's what I thought. Yeah, that's what I thought, Dustin. Like it's just on. Yes, that's exactly what I thought. That the art wasn't copyrighted. It was just the font and the title of the deck and maybe the yellow box in particular. But I didn't think that they own. That's why I always thought it was strange that AGM was having trouble distributing the one everyone was looking for last year in the orange box that couldn't be distributed here or in the UK. I don't think. I didn't understand why they were having trouble with that either because I guess if they didn't if they didn't call it that and it wasn't in the yellow box and it wasn't using their font, then it wouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, I think the copyright does technically expire in 2021, but US Games on their 2019 printing of the deck changed the copyright. It doesn't say 1971 anymore. It says copyright 2019. So I think that they're going to try and be really slippery and say that that's a new copyright. And then it'll extend for another, I assume, 100 years or however long, 70 years, however long it is that a copyright lasts. So, yeah. I don't know what was the 70-year point because I mean, I just assumed they did it in 2019 because I didn't even think about how many years had passed or anything. I just assumed they did it in 2019 because 2019 would have been the year, or, 2021 is coming up. So they're getting close. So they just like, we're trying to find a loophole in so that somebody else can't get it. Oh, it wasn't a copyright thing. Okay, it was just a non-compete that they have with US Games. Okay, well, that makes sense, I guess. I still don't really understand, like, what is so complicated about printing this deck with the cracklebacks, with Pixie's font, and with decent images. Like, it's 2020, and like even the newest printing that US Games put out, and the yellow box is One of my favorite decks to collect. I love it. I'm really happy to have all of them. Even the newest yellow box, the colors are shit. They are so bad. They're like really, really bright. I mean, you can look at, even if you don't just go by the original like blue box or yellow box first, even if you don't go by this, where the colors are still like kind of muted and really pretty. And I mean, even these decks, sometimes the yellows can be a little bit vibrant. But even if you don't go by these, and you look at a vintage Pam A, B, C, D, or the Roses and Lilies that came out in 1910, I don't understand why they can't match those. Like, why can't they match the colors? It's the same way I feel about the Albano Wade. Like, why are the purples suddenly gray? Like, it doesn't make sense. And I don't understand, like, whoever is proofing the cards, the card images for print, why don't they like make the adjustments, like print a test run? Even like indie deck creators and stuff get a proof copy of the deck before they have thousands printed. So why not just print one, look at the images, adjust the color formula, adjust how they're printing them so that everything can look nice and be how it's meant to be? Like, it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to have all the colors be so shitty. Yeah, and also without the copyright, I think honestly it wouldn't be that big a deal if they just moved the copyright to the back of the card. And like, I know people like to read reversals and that would be a problem, but they could put the copyright like on, like small on the bottom and the top of the card, and then you could still read reversals, but it would be on the back. So like the front of the card would still look really nice and it wouldn't be a big deal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, so I don't know. I think it's stupid. I think it's dumb, honestly, that in 2020 they can't get it together. I mean, like, they're the leaders. The US Games really is like the leaders, in my opinion. I mean, AGM I know does a great job and has a nice selection, but US Games really does have the largest selection of decks and stuff, and probably the most resources to, to hire out artists and stuff and get what they need done to get the colors right. And so I don't understand why they can't. It doesn't make sense. Like, why hasn't the production value gotten better? And like, surely someone at US Games sees all of our videos. I mean, I'm not stupid enough to think that someone at US Games has seen my video, but surely someone is in charge of research and development and sees other people's videos about it and the complaints that we have about all of it. Yes, I mean, I sent them a message on Instagram and was shocked when they messaged me back. So, like, somebody is paying attention. So, like, why can't they get the card stock straight? Why can't they, like, I don't understand why they can't reproduce, even if they made a deck like the 38 East 32nd Street again and just printed that, and the card stock was nice and matte and buttery, and even with that small little copyright on the side, I think people would be worlds happier than with the deck that they have now. Because, I mean, I guess the plus is that you could I guess the plus is that you can shuffle the deck really easily because they're like basically plastic, but I don't know. Yeah, and the ugly Italian deck. It's like the deck is not gonna be it's not gonna go out of print. I mean, it's not. It just isn't. Like U.S. Games is not. They would have to be bankrupt. I feel like to stop printing it. So I don't understand why. Like, just print thousands and thousands. Print however much it takes to get it to a price point that's appropriate, but also have nice cardstock and nice images. Like, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, the Italian printings are shitty. And I will say, I saw a who was it? I think it was Lisa at Mindful Tarot. She compared the Italian printing of the Albano Weight to the 80s version. I think it was 80. It was the older edition, not the current one. But anyway, she compared the Italian printing to it, and I was like, she thought the colors were better, and I was like, I don't think they are, Lisa. Like, you need to raise your standards. Like, because she clearly knows tarot. Like, she's got beautiful decks. She knows what she's looking at. But in that instance, I was like, they're not that they're not that much better. Like, not enough to be like singing US Games praises like they did something. Yeah, Mary, that's how I felt. Like, I wanted to comment under her video and be like, Lisa, I'm disappointed. Like, what are you doing? Why are you encouraging this shitty Italian production of this deck? Like, it's not good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Lisa does do great videos. She has a, several amazing videos on the Yellow Box and also the Aquarian. She has a good video on the Aquarian Tarot too, like vintage ones, and how to find them. Well, not really how to find them, but like what to look for. Because the Aquarian is thank you, Mary, thank you. Oh, I guess I can tell. That's a fun story to tell. So there was a Pam B on eBay a few weeks ago, and I instantly, they didn't call it that. It just said like vintage tarot cards or something stupid. And I messaged Mary and was like, this is the link. Do you think this is, I mean, it's clearly a Pam original, but like, which one is it? Like, I think it's a B. I don't think it's a C, but like, we can't see the sun. It's definitely not an A because it doesn't have the red lines. Like, it's not using lines to create the stuff. So I was like, I think it's a B. I don't think it's a C, but we can't see the sun. So we weren't totally sure. We agreed eventually that it was a B. And I was like, no one is bidding on it. Like, nothing is happening. It was like crickets for like over a week. And then the week came and the day of the auction ending came, and I was messaging her and I was like, oh my God, it's literally like $100 right now. The current bid is $100. So like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get it. Like, I have a little extra money. I'm just gonna bid a shit ton right before the auction ends, and I'm gonna get it. And honestly, the truth is, the auction had 6 seconds left, and I put in a bid of $500, even though I thought there's no way that it's going to be $500. I just was like, let me put the biggest number possible so that in this last 6 seconds, nobody was like, ooh, I'm going to bid 135 instead. So I bid $500 with 6 seconds left, and two people after me. One of them was Lisa at Mindful Tarot. Unconfirmed, but I mean, I haven't heard her say it, but through good sources, she's the one who got it. Two different people bid after me, and the deck sold for $910, which is like, what? That's insane. Yes, it was a gamble, Simon. It was. And looking back now, I'm kind of like slightly regretting it because, I mean, since it went for $910, like, there was a really good chance that I could have been stuck paying that much. Like, that's a lot of money. It was a Pam B. But I think Lisa, I really hope Lisa, if she is in fact the one that got it, I hope that she does a walkthrough of it because the deck was absolutely pristine. It was in amazing shape. It was in a black box, like a little slide two-piece box, kind of like the University Books deck comes. And it the coolest part about it was, and I'm sure, I mean, it doesn't matter now because the deck is so old that I'm sure the phone number didn't mean anything, but the deck on the inside of the box still had the person whose deck it was. It had their name and their phone number written inside. Oh, okay. So now Mary has the memory of an elephant. She remembers literally everything, but like in the best way. But it had apparently something written on the Emperor card. But yeah, me either. I'm also not willing to spend that kind of money. But when I thought I was going to get it for like a couple $100s, and it's a Pam B, and I thought this is perfect. Like, when am I going to have an opportunity to get an original rider, like a real original? So I was so disappointed with that. And then the same day, Mary was like on a roller coaster with me the whole day. Like the buildup of me bidding on this Pam B, and then I was so disappointed after. Less disappointed than I thought since it sold for $910. I would have been really pissed if someone had just bid like $1 over me. And then one, that would have been like devastating. But for some reason, because they had bid like $1,000 on it, it was less devastating because it's like, okay, I didn't have a chance at all. But so that happened. And then later that evening, I saw a deck that was, it was an Albano tarot deck, but it was just the back of the box. I messaged the seller and was like, hey, can you send me some pictures of the cards? Because it was just the back of the box. I didn't know what I was dealing with. They sent back a picture of the cards, but they covered a coffee table, and it was all the majors, and the corners weren't rounded. So it was a giant one, a giant majors only, and I wanted it. So before I could place a bid on it, someone bought it. And so that's how I ended up messaging the seller and then going to like see those two giant trunks of decks. So that worked out. But Mary, the entire day, that was from like noon until 8 o'clock at night. I was like constantly messaging her, like, what the hell? This really sucks. Now what's going to happen? I don't know what to do. I'm really upset. I'm frustrated. Oh, look, there's this other deck that I also really want. That's really cool. Shit, I lost it. It's gone. Like, and then obviously it ended up working out. And I'm really glad that I didn't win because I would have never gotten all the other decks. So it worked out. Oh yeah. Okay, so I guess I could have explained that better. So the Pams are like the Roses and Lilies came out in 1910, and then there was a little space, I guess, maybe not a space. It's just the revisions. A, B, C, D are the like changes in the cards. Like they fixed the sun in the Pam C. But it's the original. It's the deck that this deck was. Actually, this is, I think, Mary, I need your historical knowledge. This is still Ryder and Company, so this, I guess, would be the next edition of the PAM A, B, C, D. There was just a space between that were there was just a space between because of World War II, right? Hopefully I got that right and I'm not like sucking at life. Because of a war. I'll just cover my ass. How about that? Yeah, Dustin, can you please go ahead and get your Rider, your RWS collection going? Okay, so the blue box apparently was printed by AGM and then imported by Waddington's. Okay, cool. Yes, I am having a great week with the cards. Really great, because I got Nancy's package with the university books, and I had a copy of the university books, but it didn't have a box or anything, and I'm pretty sure it was a Carroll Publishing's like much later edition, because the card stock is really shitty. So it's really cool to get that one from Nancy. No, the Blushing Fool is not. That's the other thing about the Blushing Fool. Um, I think they're a little more common. They're not common in the blue box very much. I think they're more common in the yellow box than people like to give it credit for. So the Blushing Fool was just a printing error, is all. It just, I guess it dropped the red ink. It just dropped more red ink than it needed somehow, and that's why it looks like it's blushing or sunburned. But it wasn't intentional. Like the blue box decks are not. I mean, the Blushing Fool decks are not meant to be blushing. Yeah, I'm on the hunt for a Jaeger tarot. Is your Jaeger in the like metallic gold box, or is it like the newer one? And then the New Age is great, love that. And I don't have the Karma tarot either. The newer one is cool too. And I didn't realize that US Games republished the Jaeger Tarot in 2018. I mean, it was a limited run, but I mean they did. I can't find one now, like a 2018 one. So I don't know. I guess they really printed a limited amount. Yeah, there are blue boxes that are not Blushing Fools. Apparently, I learned this also from Mary, that the blue boxes that do have a Blushing Fool will say in association with Waddington Playing Card Company, like right on the bottom there. I think the lamination on on the university books, in the burgundy box is different. It's like much, much shinier. And I couldn't tell if it like, I don't know if it has a core or, yeah, and the wreath on the lid is more of an olive green color and less of a like really vibrant yellowy green. Yeah, but the University Books deck, I don't know if it's like if it has a core or if it's just like super, I don't know what it is. I don't know if the lamination is really thick, but it's much more difficult to bend it. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not trying to like fully bend it, but like it's much less bendy, much more firm. Yeah, Dustin, I think yours, so mine is also a 3 Fitzroy square, but I think the difference is your box, if you grab it, probably doesn't say in association with Waddington Playing Card Company. I think that's the only thing that changes on the box between the Blushing Fool and the other. And I'm guessing that the way, since it was a printing error, I'm guessing that the way that the Blushing Fools found their way into the yellow boxes is that they were printed all by AGM. And so they probably just got shipped to the United States and boxed by US Games instead. Because I have a 6th printing that is a Blushing Fool, but like you would think that the yellow box ones, like all the Blushing Fools would have the same little white book, but I think that the deal with that is that the deck was printed by AGM in Switzerland, and the book, the little white book, and the boxes were printed in the US. So the decks would be shipped to US Games, and then an employee at US Games would stick the wrapped sealed deck in the box with the little white book. And so it's possible that the deck doesn't necessarily match the little white book. Do you see what I mean? Like, just because I have a 6th printing of the little white book doesn't mean that the deck was the 6th printing of the deck. It just means that I got a 6th printing of the little white book. And I think that that claim is supported because even once US Games moves to Stanford and the box changes to Stanford, the cards are still printed in Switzerland. Like they're still leftover cards from when they were at 38 East 32nd. And I learned that also from Mary. So go subscribe to her. Is there a way, can someone tell me, is there a way I can highlight her? Melissa Zupan. Anyway, go subscribe to her. Go check out all of her everything. All of it. No, I can't highlight her. Okay, so I'm telling you now, scroll up in the chat and click Melissa Zupan and go, yes, Elle, put a link. The link queen. Put a link, but go and subscribe to her because her videos are short, to the point, but they are like super knowledgeable. If you enjoy my videos, you'll really enjoy hers because she has lots of yeah, I'm gonna call her Melissa from now on. Melissa, not Mary. I mean Mary, Melissa, whatever. Her videos are really informative and really well researched. And you are that big a deal. Oh, click on, I think if you click her picture, sparkling Sia. Anyway, I've been on for like almost an hour and a half, so if there's anything else that you want to talk about or see or anything like that, I guess I can keep talking for another 10 minutes, but if everyone has things to do, I can also end it. Yeah, nothing is working. Oh yeah, my first live. It was fun. I'm have not looked at the camera a single time, but I think it's because I'm on my husband's like work computer. He like sets his laptop up to an actual like monitor, and so the camera is like up here. So like I guess I could. It's just awkward to look up there instead of like looking at the chat or whatever. Um. Oh, good. Dustin put the link in. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, maybe I'll do a live again sometime. I mean, between now and Terrathon. Oh, which I am doing. So I guess look out for that. Another live later, not until the end of May, I don't think. But yeah. Maybe I'll do another live sometime this week, I'm sure. Um and I'll glide someone and figure out how to set it up so that people can get a notification. But it seems like no one is going to get a notification since, like, I haven't been getting notifications for lives pretty much in the last week since I updated YouTube on my phone. I don't remember what day it was. That changed. Also, the comments changed, and I don't really love that either. Have y'all noticed that on your phone? If you look, okay, well, Dustin is the only one who got a notification on his phone. Yeah, and I'll definitely work on my lighting. I mean, I can either be like fully gone, like transparent, or I can be like much more red than I actually am. Um, but anyway, the comments, what I was saying is the comments on the videos, you used to be able to just like scroll below like all the similar videos and then get to all the comments. And now you have to like click a little thing so that you can like get to the comments. It's weird. Oh, you can't do that, Jen? You can't just like click on it? I can't even click on it. I guess probably because they don't want me to like leave the screen, which makes sense. Okay, well, this has been fun, and I think I'm gonna go because I need to get my Easter basket ready for my little niece. She's gonna be 2 this year, next month. So I have to play Easter Bunny later. I mean, I'm not gonna see her, obviously. I'm just gonna bring all her little Easter basket and stuff and just leave it on the door. So yeah, thanks for being here for almost an hour and a half. It was a lot of fun. It blew by. Um, and yeah, I'm definitely gonna do this again, I think. I'll probably do this again this week. So yeah, I guess I'll talk to everybody soon.